فصل. مم. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. We could even rename the game to a Fair Maiden. Okay. I used to love sandboxes like you would not believe. Really, you? Sure, finding iron fillings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron fillings, wow, that's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shred of iron in the sandbox. I was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all the iron? She's still a kid. No, I never did, but I think I came close though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron fillings I found way back when. Okay, found a way back. You want them? No. Who wants those? This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. And that apple slide is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on, don't be a stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on, woo. No way. I would get covered in sand if I slide down that slide. Anyone can see that. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I would give it a try too. Mm. Weird, he's not here. Let's check again. ما حدا يمكن. اوكي، خلينا نطلع مكان ثاني. كريسبين الطباخ هو في كيف طباخ. January 7th, Rasbeen Kitchen. Huh? Mr. Armstrong talking to someone. Oh, I'll be back next month. Okay. This is the mysterious girl that we saw, but didn't know anything. Oi, natural element. I'll be waiting for you. If you got, if you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here. Noon, I will have everything ready, I promise. I love fire, you know. I love the way it crackles. He. No, stop it, I beg you. Then don't let me down. I'll be watching you. My known is not necessary. You can trust me, mademoiselle. My broken French. Right. Talk to anyone, and I will drive a knife right through your heart. مجرمة هذه. Oh, none. You do not have to worry. You know, you worry far too much. Maybe this will help you relax. It is the oil of sandalwood. عود الصندل. I do love raw meat from time to time. He. Who are we? I'll be taking my leave. Goodbye for now. شريرة باين شريرة. Okay. Oh, I have shivers. I must rub some of my oil all of my body. I become the nervous wreck. شو زي زير او وي that feels good. Oh la la, excuse me, my monsieur, si, monsieur, my broken French. Excuse me, my broken French. My eyes, my eyes. Your eyes, if you have trouble with your eyes, you need this la oil of the sandalwood. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hmm, let's see. First bean. You don't exactly have many customers, do you, Mr. Armstrong? No, no, you are right, monsieur, but perhaps that is the perfect time for you to visit me. No, that way I can give you my undivided attention and cook for you la dish supreme. Putting on a brave face, huh? That's what girls do, Nick. But you're right, business is very difficult these days. Perhaps the name is the problem. People do not understand it. They think it is Tere. Tere. I just wanted people to think that my restaurant was exclusive. But they think you just served fast food on cheap plastic trays. Okay. Nick, that's the kind of thing that can make a girl cry. Have you forgotten that Mr. Armstrong is a man, Maya? But this restaurant is my life. It is everything to me. I will defend it to la finale. No one will take it from me. Okay, the woman just now. So who was that woman you were just talking to? Ooh la la, you saw that? Oh well, yes. Sorry. So who was she? She looked so polite and graceful. Who polite, graceful, and she likes raw meat and fires, right? I'll be back next month. We naturally will be waiting for you. This is what just happened now. We haven't got it by then. I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here. No, I will have everything ready, I promise. Now that I think about it, hey Maya, I think it is pretty clear that what kind of conversation they were having. You think so? Well then let's show him that piece of evidence and see what happens. That piece of evidence. That piece of evidence. We have an evidence. Yeah, the old man gave us something. Victor's testimony when the incident happened. Right. Present Victor's testimony. Oh, it is true. My vases are broken all the time. I bought a new one the next day after the incident, but wouldn't let me put it on the table because the investigation. Okay. Mm, ticket. If only I've taken the right lottery ticket, I would not have any debts right now. I would be free. Look on the bright side, Mr. Armstrong. You won $1, right? Lack of remorse for having stolen something priceless. About this one? About this. Aha. Felicitation. Maze. Ugh. Whatever that is. Ak um. Je no comprehend. Nick, you don't just make something up. He's trying to reply. Okay, about this. About this. Okay, the same thing. Prescription. Nope, nothing. For the prescription. The show. No. Ah, this old man. He is a regular here. He is a regular. My specialty of cappuccino and cold water is one of his favorites. Cappuccino and cold water. Was he here at the time of the incident? He was here. I'm sure of it. When the incident happened, uh, uh, this old man was here. It's hard to imagine, I know, but I was an apprentice for 5 years in La Gay Paris. Oh, in Paris. It was something the chief there said to me that made me decide to open my own restaurant. What was it? That awful man said to me, "You must train for another 10 years." Oh, it was such a shock, so unexpected, but you would have to be a fool to do this, huh? Not this. I'll keep presenting stuff until he says something different. Let's see what he said about this. About this. Oh no. Same. Autopsy. Same. Check this one. Jeans. So long as that paper exists, I am but a delightful angel with broken wings. An angel, huh? Doesn't bode well when you think about it. ما ينسجم بعد الفيديو. They kept harassing me month after month. In the end, I had to give in. I agreed to help them. Help them with that? May's been sore. So if I didn't not owe them money, I would have refused. But my hands were tied. Please, what did you agree to help them with? No, I cannot say. If I tell you that woman, she will slice me up and eat me with a salad garnish. Ew, I hope he doesn't mean that he'll literally be sliced up and served with garnish. I'm going to guess that woman has something to do with your loan contract. Am I right? Please, Mr. Armstrong, tell us about that woman. فعلا الدراجة. في شيء عن الدراجة. What is it? Is this your scooter? No, I saw it before in Vitamin Square, you see? Mondio, no, take it away. Do not show that to me. Talk about an allergic reaction. Okay, في شيء بالسكوتر. Lunch special. Oh la la, so you have eaten my lunch, oui? Tell me, monsieur, did you enjoy the lunch I prepared for you? It was a unique and wild mixture of flavors. It was the first time I ever had lobster, you know? Lobster? There was no lobster in my lunch. Huh? But it said lobster right on the menu. Mademoiselle Maya, please, you must read the menu more carefully. It says a dish inspired by lobster and abalone fricassee with balsamic vinaigrette. Okay. It's a long word. Oh, it is inspired, is it? Oui, inspired by these ingredients, but not perhaps made from them. Nest pass. Oh. Ah. Well, guess that's the way of the cookie crumbles, Nick. The way the lunch tasted, it's probably 99% perspiration. Ah, okay, that's the perspiration and 1% inspiration. Jobless thing. About this. But does that mean anything? No, no, only speculation. Such a long time. Oh, what a beautiful pendant. It would look stunning on me with the earrings. Please don't steal it again, okay? It's one of my kind. I could just have a silver of it, none. It's not a block of cheese, you know? Please, monsieur, there is no need to show me that. You are a Mon Phoenix, right? The worst defense attorney in town. I'm pretty sure I know how he performed this completely wrong impression of me. The last time we met, did I show you this badge? Oui, you flashed it to everyone in the restaurant. Looks like a Shinho Top is a bigger fan of flashing stuff than you are, Nick. Shinho is the imposter of me, of the Phoenix Wright. They call him that for some reason. Yeah, I think they have done that. So, yeah, there is something. The woman just now. Who was she? I take it that she's why was it she? Oh, she's from the loan office. Oh, okay, this is new. This is new. Loan office. Is that where you borrowed $500,000 from? We tender lender. It is called. Okay, I guess it's time to go there. Catchy name. Just hearing it makes me wanna borrow some money. Please, you must not borrow from them. If you must know more than $10. $10 sounds like your whole monthly stipend, Maya. Hey, I get a bit more than that. Thank you very much. So tender lender is the loan office you borrowed $500,000 from, huh? I wonder if they've got anything to do with this case. Tender lender, let's see. I am a weak woman. When I am set, I have to buy something nice to cheer me up. Thanks to him loaning me the money, I have to pay back $500,000 now. I'm like his slave. I have to do everything that tells me. Who's this he? The tiger. The tiger? Oui. He is the manager of the tender lender, a terrifying man, a big city mobster. When he shouts at me, my knees are trembling and his voice is ringing in my ears for 3 days. As soon as I hear the noise of the battered old scooters rides, I start to cry. A big city mobster who rides a battered old scooter. Who could that be? Does this guy resemble me by any chance? Oh, no, 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 no. This man has a presence, a most formidable personality. Although he does have la spiky hair just like you. There is a resemblance there, I suppose. Sounds like this loan office is worth checking out after all. If we want to visit the Tenderlander, it is just beyond Vitamin Square. Hey, Nick, if you need money, I can loan you some, as long as it's less than $3. Thanks for the offer. Just beyond Vitamin Square, huh? Okay, time to go to Tenderlander. Tenderloner. Tenderloner. Here. Then go out. Go out here. And then, yes. Tenderlander. Let's go. حط كيس البوكسينج في المكتب. Win through compromise. Okay, January 7th, Tenderlander. This place gives off a really strange vibe, doesn't it? Looks like the tiger isn't in his lair. And that is, as they say, a very good thing. Welcome. Go. Talk about a creepy voice. It makes your soul want to shrivel up and die. Okay. You're here to discuss a loan. Oh no, not exactly. The manager is away at the moment. Wait quietly, please. She's weird. She's gone just like that. I guess we'll just have to come back another time. But this is the perfect opportunity, Nick. This place reeks of suspicion. Come on, Nick. Let's take a look around, okay? Do you think it will be okay? Of course, no one will ever know. Coffee? صدمتهم. Ah, I'll leave it here for you to enjoy quietly. Yes, thank you. Do not touch the desk, please. أغراض طايحة طرابيزة ولا شيء. Nick, let's get out of here. خافت. Now she wants to get out of here. مشكلة الحريق. ماشي شو Oh no, someone dropped the ashtray on the floor. That's going to be a nightmare to clean up. Yes, all over the rug and everything. I accidentally just knocked over a really big space heater once. Cleaning up was such a pain. It was one of those super antiques where you have to burn a ton of charcoal. How did she manage to knock one of those over? Weren't they supposed to be super heavy? Oh, hey, there is a book of matches here, too. Matches, huh? Please don't give those out much nowadays. Places don't give those out much nowadays. Hey, wait a second. What is it? Look what's printed on this cover. It says Trisbee. Okay. These matches could come in handy. We might be able to use them. Yeah, the pilot light for the office boiler keeps going out. Swing and a miss, Maya. Swing and a miss. What's this? It's a punching bag. What? No way, you didn't catch me walking around with a bag like that. What do you mean, walking around? The design's gross to start with. It's way too heavy to be practical. Why it's called a punching bag? Don't people know messenger bags are in? She doesn't know because she's from the town. What's a bag is? Stupid. Okay then. Stupid money. I knew it. I was right before back at Brisbane. The Paris fashion is more my thing. I really hope she's pulling my chain on this one. Let's see. Win through compromise. I wonder what's that supposed to mean. Must mean something if they took the trouble to frame it like that. Yeah, well, it's still doesn't make any sense to me. That ah keeps scaring me. That's Tenderlander's guiding principle. Oh, compromise the customer to win. Oh, I see. How about you, Nick? Yeah, well, as long as we don't have to compromise my hair, I would say we're okay. That's one slogan no business owner should ever explain to their customers. Shudder. Or what's it? Let's see, this round doll thing is called a Daruma, I think. Daruma. I figured I would read a book or two and be more cultured in case you're wondering. I mean, you aren't making stuff up for a change. I bet you also didn't know that no matter what, you will always write. No matter what, you will always write himself. Go on, Nick. Give him a good show. Only if I feel like dying. Now, this yellow thing, this is a Japanese chess piece. I think it's a king. Not that I'm an expert or anything. I'm more of a reversey person, you know. Tell me if he knows what he's talking about. These aren't exactly your typical monster wannabe items. They're not trophies, are they? Go. Hey, there is a piece of paper sticking out from under here. What is it? A repair bill. Looks like he did some repair work on his car. Does he even have one? $15,000 to replace a bumper and a light. That's insane. The car's registered to the Cadaverines. Huh? So it's not even the Tiger's car. Why would someone else repair bill be in the Tiger's office? نصابة. There is a CD player on the disc, but the disc is so loud, it's a wonder you can hear it. The lid's open, and I wonder what kind of music the tiger's into. Have you finished the coffee? Uh, yeah, yes, thanks. It was lovely. So, you drank it all? Gulp. She's. If you touch anything else that doesn't belong to you, there's always another cup. Fuck. That coffee was laced with something. I'm almost sure of it. Nick, my stomach is killing me. They think that she put something in the coffee. Oh wait, maybe it was just a burger I ate for breakfast. I sure hope so. We better take a look at that CD while we're still alive and have the chance. What the? What? It's not the Rocco soundtrack, is it? Claw of the Tiger? Rocco? Rocky? It's a demo CD. The artist name has been handwritten on the disc in pen. MC Bomber. MC Bomber. What? This must be the CD Maggie told us about. Let's listen to it. I bet it's a heavy metal. No way that woman will take us drink. No way that woman will make us drink more coffee if we do. MC Bomber added to the call. We're getting some clues now. But he's close. Hey, look at this Persian style coat. It's so chic. Cheek. It's so cheap. Looks more like a pimp coat to me. Guess I haven't got an eye for fashion. Hey, look at this. this suit is the same color as the one you wear, Nick. We found the imposter's clothes. The same color as my suit. Ah, keep your voice down, Maya. Nick, you've got to take a look at some cake. Ah, I'll just leave it here for you. Oh yeah, sure. I am. Thanks. Oh, just wait here quietly, otherwise. Sure. Did you hear that, Nick? Wait quietly, she said. Yeah, yeah, sure. She keeps screaming and saying, Be quiet. I have my eye on you only so I can take care of you, understand? Menacing. They should put this menacing, on the JoJo. She's reeking with menacing stuff. Menacing Yora. Oh, I'm scared, Nick. So, what were you getting so excited about before? Look on the label of this suit. الوسام مال العدالة. That's an attorney's badge. It's the tiger's. It's the tiger's a lawyer. Is the tiger's a lawyer also? No way! Look at this thing. It's made of paper. كرتون شكله. شكله مصنوع من الكرتون. Paper badge added to the court record. For some reason, your badge doesn't look really cheap to me, Nick. Why doesn't anyone recognize an obviously fake badge when they see one? Wow! زئير الأسد. That's a lion's. What do you call when he screams? Ah! Come out from under the desk, Maya. Oh, man. What are you two snooping around in my office for? No, nothing. We are just wow, my precious carpet. You got ash on my rug. You gonna wish your ugly feet never came through my door. It wasn't me. You wanna argue with me? Is that what you're doing? You think you can take me on? I'm gonna flatten you two into pancakes and turn you into my new rugs. Ah! Maya screaming. Oh, Don Tiger, you're back. That voice, it's like evil seeping into your head through your ears. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Don Tiger. I knocked over that ashtray earlier, and he got a death wish or what? the tag. All right. رمضان خلاص خلص تو. Forget about it, Violetta. It is not nothing. Nothing. What? I ain't gonna get mad at you. You too cute. You here? That's so unfair. Here, have some cookies. I just baked them. And you will need some strong espresso while you're discussing your loan. Go, Phoenix, right? Yes. Use either crazy or just plain stupid to chase after me. I worked so hard, but now you's gotta come and mess up my plan. رد على حركاته. So it was him. He's my phony. But I don't care. No one gets in my way. Well, what? I mean, excuse me? You should left the little girl at home, right? I have a few things I want to. Ah! Maya's all screaming anyway. No questions. This is the last time we meet. I think Maya's under the table. Wait, please. That was pretty weak, Nick. What? You were screaming. You waited until he was out of earshot before you shouted after him. Yeah, like you're one that talk. I didn't hear you scream. Hold it either. The espresso. Ah, shit. And cookies. This one is definitely not good for my heart. Now, what was it the tiger called it up? Violetta. Violetta. Okay, Violetta. Yes, we have questions. Possibly part of the staff at the... Okay, sorry, veteran person. Let's talk to her. Tender lender. Let's see what she knows about the case. So I'm kind of curious about your company, Tender Lender. With the warm and friendly atmosphere you'd expect from a family-sized business. Conscientus? Conscientus? That's a new word for me. Conscientus rate of interest and an attractive repayment policy. Why do I get the feeling this sentence is not going to end well? We will tenderly lend you that little bit extra here at Tender Lender. Hey Nick, things are a bit tight for Wright & Co. at the moment, aren't they? I mean, there is that $500 you owe me from our card game for starters. Why don't you take out a loan? Would I like to take out a loan from a place like this? Not so much. Not so much. Tender Lender is on your side. So let's say I'm late with my repayment. What happens then? We would give you more coffee. Strong coffee. Right, I think I would rather skip town. Hey, just remember I can make strong coffee too. Make strong tea as well. It's not a competition. Okay, let's see what happened. So, do you know about the incident we are investigating? What incident? طيب أنا أستعبط كيف ما عليه طلع التجربة ما عليه. Well, a man was poisoned in a restaurant just near here. That incident. Let me see. I was here that day with the manager. The manager being the tiger. Furio Tigery. Furio Tigery. That's where the tiger thing comes from. You know, I've got a real name. Nick, hurry up and find out more about him. Okay. We got the imposter's name now. This is what we have here. 42 age. Her age is unknown. 39. Yeah, no wonder he's screaming a lot. Let's see what she says about him. Can I ask you about the tiger? I mean, Mr. Tigery. Tigeri. Cookie? Sure. How do you like my cookies? I baked them myself. Go ahead, Nick. The honor is all yours. No, ladies first, Maya. بادرون بالأدوار بالأسئلة شو No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the tiger and this scary girl doing working together? We are lovers. What? That's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice. Now, oh, don't Tiger my life. He's the one who saved me. Tiger saved you? Please address him properly as Don Tiger, otherwise I'll have to. Okay, okay. Don Tiger, of course, I'm sorry. You saved her life. I'd sure like to know how that happened. I want to know also. Saved the life. I'm very frail, you see. Just recently I died once. He. Died once. What? What? You died about 4 months ago. The doctor said to abandon all hope. I guess they were expecting her to take a boat ride across the river Styx, sorry. But Don Tiger, he saved me. He gave up of everything. Everything. When I found out what he had done for me, I was happy. No offense, but I'm finding that a little hard to believe. I decided I would pay him back with my life by serving him coffee and espresso. I still wonder about what's in her coffee. So is that why you have got that bandage around your head? He. This? Your head bandage. Well, I still don't believe what you said. It's weird, it's creepy, huh? So what's the story with the bandage? They put it on after the operation. Operation? It's just a little injury, a little fatal injury. Fatal injury? Maybe just suffered one herself by the sound of it. So that's the injury you were talking about before when you said you had died once? Oh, okay. He's hiding something. Wow, 4 chains, 4 locks, thigh locks. Okay, let's see now if we can answer or she really tweets me out, Nick. Yeah, no shit. Same here, but we have got to find out the truth. Okay, we'll have to save now. Maybe we have the answers. Let's try. Let's try to get the answers. The headband bandage. Let's see. You said that bandage around your head was from an operation. You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct? Yes, the operation was very difficult apparently. Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? He. Did the injury in question have something to do with this? I have a feeling. Well, donuts? Huh? I baked them myself. Homemade donuts. Have one. What's inside? Jam and... I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch that. Hey. Thanks, but no thanks. I think I'll pass. I guess that was a flop. Oopsie, I made a mistake. What happened to this woman for her to have such a huge bandage around her head? There must be some pieces of evidence that will promote her to tell me what happened. Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? We'll try again. When the incident occurred, I broke the base seat. Sorry. Jeans loan contract. Maybe this bill? Yes, this one. Okay, I have here a car repair bill. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was involved in an accident. Let me see that. This bill is made out to the cadaverinians. Yes, it is. I don't think I ever introduced my son. Tell me, what do the cadaverinians have to do with me? Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself already. Then, your relationship with the cadaverinians is very strong, and this is why. Who are the cadaverinians? Hmm. Maybe this? I'm just guessing. So what do you have to say for yourself? It's wrong. Pretzels for you? Huh? Don't worry about the little white specks on the surface. I just sprinkle a small quantity of... No, no, thanks. My witness must still be half-baked. I really don't know the Catalans father. I don't think I ever introduced myself. Okay, jeez. I have to get relationship with the Catalans is very sour. The let's put the bike on the line. No? No. It's not the bike. Jeans loan contract. This one? Loan contract? No? Millionaire? No. Ah. No, not this. Maybe this guy? No. Ah. Push yourself, calm down. Hello, Iraqi. What's up, man? Maybe I have to search more for evidence. I think I don't have enough evidence. Break all the locks. What's up, man? كيف حالك? There is something here. January 7, Vitamin Square. There he is, old CD's back feeding the pigeons again. There, take this, and get out of my park. Like I thought, he's really mad. Come on, Maya, just keep your head down and let's sneak away while we still can. What? Why? Hello, old man. What are you doing, Maya? God. Hey, he just turned his back on us. ذكرنا من اول شو اسمه اللي استوى امس. I'm not surprised, but I bet I really hurt his pride in court this morning. Hey, Mr. Kudo. Hmm, pigeons, pigeons. God. Look, we really need to talk to you, all right? Out with the demons, in with the goods. Seeds, shell, splinters, painful. I always knew you were a demon, Maya. يلا هو بعد طاح فيها. Today's try. I'm sorry about what happened earlier today. His nose is like this. Characters. A drunk nose. Drunken people have red noses. That's it. Or old men. This is how Japan is. Don't worry about it. Everyone will be talking about me behind my back now. A dirty old man who was so busy looking at the serving girl's backside that he can't remember her face. A filthy, depraved animal. Oh, تعقد. Not at all. Are you listening to me, boy? I don't care what you say. I saw what waitresses put it on in. She put some white powder into the young lad's Javachino. We hear you. And another thing, the young laybout was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the lens of his broken spectacles. We're really sorry. So I made a little mistake about the vase, so what? I know what I saw. I tell you. والله هالكاركتر شخصية. Okay, take it easy please, Mr. Kudo. Don't tell me to take it easy, you spiky head brat, take this. والله فرها كله. Okay. You said you were a craftsman, right? God, the modern world casts honest craftsmen like me aside in the droves. Surely it's not that. I come from a long line of craftsmen, right back to the time of the shoguns. Do you hear me? I didn't become an embroider. I was born one. هذا مفتخر وايد في التخصص اللي هو ولد فيه حقه يعني. Okay. Actually, I'm kind of in the same situation myself. I wanted to stick my fingers up that dribbling old judge's nose and scream right down his ear hole. Objection! Oh, so did you want to become a lawyer when you were young? I don't think that's quite it, Maya. I think he's just in a bad mood, that's all. I've got a tsunami of frustration inside and it's ready to burst out. If we let him start rambling now, we might never shut him up. What should I do? Suck it up or cut in? Cut in, Habib, cut in. Actually, we've got places to go, things to check and stuff. Maybe another time. هو خياط كيمونو، واجيال كلهم يمشون على نفس المهنه هذه، وهو كان شاهد في قضيه ودخلناه في المحكمه وتمينا نبرر ان كلامه كله غلط، فهو الحين شي معصب الحين، عرفت؟ هذا المستوي. حسب نطلع الحقيقه في الكيس، هو ترى شاهد، بس شاهد كان عنده وايد اغلاط في الاشياء اللي كان يتكلم عنها. Actually, we've got places to go, things to check, and stuff maybe another time. Fine, whatever. Just don't forget I've got the tsunami worth of grumbling to do. Yes, yes. This girl right here is really looking forward to hearing it all, honest. حط عليها honest. What? I never said that. Come to the place where I work then. Here, bring this along with you. Come. يوفر له حب يا حب مال الطيور هذا. عصافير. لعبة غريبة. فينيكس رايت لعبة نوفل. شيء تحل قضايا، كل حلقة في قضية ونفس ديتكتيف كونان الرسوم، ان في ضحية ماتت وانت تحل قضيتها، وفي واحد زخوه قال ان هذا حرامي بس هذا مسكين انت لم تطلعه من هذا. وفي اشياء فكاهية تستوي، تروح هني الحين تدور على ادلة، تسأل ناس الشهود ومدري ايش، تستوي احداث برا المحكمة، وبعدين تجيب الادلة، ندخل في المحكمة ويكون في ترايل داي 1 داي 2 وداي 3، وبعدين شي تنتهي المحكمة وانت هناك في احداث تستوي المحكمة بعد دراما، يعني كله دراما. وتنحل بعدين اخر شيء تنحل بعد ما تقيم تخلص تنحل المشكلة. What is this? It's covered in seeds. A discount coupon for a burger. He really wants someone to grumble at, huh? Although it is a burger joint. Burger. You said you were a craftsman, right? The modern world cast honest craftsmen like me aside in droves. Surely it's not that. Come from a long line of craftsmen right back to the time of the shoguns. You hear me? أظني لازم أسمع كامل. ترى أنا قاطعته وقلت بخليك. الحين بكمل وياه. Do you hear me? I didn't become an embroiderer. I was born one. Kind of the same situation. الحين بيعقل. هذا كله سمعناه. لين ما يقول الخيار هذا. أوكي. Suck it up. هالمزيونة مع البطل ربيعته معه، عرفت يعني السايد كيك. كل بطل عنده سايد كيك، فهالبطل عنده سايد كيك البنت هذه. هذا شيء شيبه معصب. خلاص ما يشوف يمين يسار، ما تفرق معه. Guess I better let him talk. So there is not much call for craftsmen these days then. Of course not, you idiot. All I'm good for nowadays is running errands. Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I, some sort of two-bit community handyman? والله ما يقدرون الكبار. Well, buy some bread now that I can understand. But what's feeding some seedy pigeons? Why don't the people say what they mean? Get lost, that's what they are trying to say. Oh yes, I'm just an inconvenience, you see. At home, at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I am sure you don't. حاول نراضيه الحين شي نعطيك كلام حلو منه. Wait a minute, what did he just say? At home and at that restaurant? Hold up. By restaurant, are you talking about Trisbeen? Did you get us to run an errand there too? Yes, I did. The very day that young brat was poisoned. What? اوكي قال كلام يخص القضيه الحين اسف بنسال اسئله. Okay, so on the day of the incident, what were you asked to do? Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. The serving girl collapsed, and I broke that vase. It all happened so fast, I was in a bit of a daze, you see. Then the owner shouted over to me, "Excuse me, Mo, you call police? Call them yourself." I should, I should have said back, but I didn't think of it at the time. Oh, so did you end up calling the police? Like I said, I was in a bit of a daze. Did you call them on your cell phone? God, do I look like I'd have one of those newfangled gaming jigs? ما يداني التكنولوجيا، ما يداني الشغلات، موبايل وسرابيط اي شيء جيكي انسى. قديم من ال هذا معتق، هالشيب معتق، انساه. Okay, I went out looking for a payphone, of course. You went looking for one? I couldn't find one right away, you know. Wandered around for 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes? So for 5 minutes after the incident happened, yes sir, the owner was at Trisbane on his own. Why didn't you mention this in court this morning? Well, I would have if you would given me the chance. I won. But you all bullied me out of the courtroom. Okay, I'll have you. Sorry, thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. It's not my fault. You are the ones to blame. You could have at least told us before we get to court. Okay. Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police? What's important is the unaccounted time before the police arrived. The victim was dead, and Maggie was unconscious. ماجي طاحوا عليه، قالوا ان هي اللي جات له، اللي هي طاحت مغمى عليها، بس حطوا عليها من الادله من كل شيء. الحين لازم نطلعها انها بريئه يعني. Which leaves that woman, I mean that man, alone in the restaurant. Mr. Kodo might have been chased out of the place on purpose. What do you mean? Maybe a certain someone didn't want him in the restaurant. Oh, sure, you go ahead and say I was in the way as usual. I suppose I should be getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead, We need to get more details about what exactly happened. From Maggie and from Mr. Armstrong. Okay. From Maggie and from Armstrong. أظني خلصنا من هذا، بس بنجرب ده نشوف كيف. لا ما عندي شيء، نفس الكلام. اوكي، احس ان خلصنا منه. I think we're done with him now. We'll go to Trisbane and we should ask the chef. Okay. Looks like Mr. Armstrong out again, but the place is open for business. You can't have an open restaurant without the chef. Hey, it's not my fault, Nick. Don't take it out on me. Only a couple of minutes after the incident happened, Mr. Kudo left the scene, leaving Mr. Armstrong here alone. Or missing when he need to talk to him the most. Maybe he's trying to avoid us on purpose. Maybe. You know what? We'll go back to Tenderlander. Don't think I have evidence to Let's talk to Gumshoe. See if he knows these guys. What do you make of this? Sorry, pal, I can't think about this as Maggie at the moment. No, no, I didn't mean it. It's like that. I mean it. You don't have to explain it. Okay. What's this guy? Nope, nothing. Chef said, "Oh la la, you know what that chef said to me? Oh la la, your body's full of toxins." And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? Don't know. The label said Jumpier. But I'll tell you what, this stuff works like a charm. I slept like a rock last night. Oh really? That's nice. سوي شيء BRB عراقي BRB ها. back. Yeah. Okay. We can yan from. Okay, let's continue. الله ما ادري اذا هذا بيساعدني والله. خلنا نروح السجن. اوكي مكتب ثاني. نبغى كبير. I present to Maya. Do you know anything about this event from? No. Can you say anything special? No. Sometimes it's hard to follow where to go. Didn't play the game for a while. Follow the words. Maybe the old guy has something to say. Let me check the guide. This will take a while for checking out. دقته شي من الواحد شيبة شي ما ادري مال الحرب. Hold on. Find. ممكن الشرط يعني صعب present radio present Glenn never before. Blue screen. Okay. Present This guy was a real programming genius. They called him the walking computer at the place where he worked. What happens when he crashes, though? Does he just stop moving all of a sudden? Ron, he wasn't really a computer, Maya. مايا غجرية. شو يسمونه؟ هيبسترز. يعني ما تفهم في التكنولوجيا والكلمات بعض الكلمات شي ما تفهم الكلمات الغريبة. شي مخلينا شي كوميدية يعني. Anyway, there is nothing between Maggie's and the victim. Yeah, that's what we found out yesterday too. هذا المحقق على أساس Gumshoe. Yeah, okay. Hey, Detective Gumshoe, don't you have any information that's a bit more fun? For fun? Oh, I know. So, have you paid a visit to where Mr. Elg worked yet? You might as well. His workplace? Where's that? Computer firm called Blue Screens Inc. or something like that. Sounds like a real stable company. This could be fun, Nick. Let's go. Computers aren't really my thing, Maya. You'll be fine. I know all about that high-tech stuff. I wonder about that. It's just around the corner from this joint. You should take a look. Computer firm called Blue Screens Inc. Huh? Well, I'm gonna head back to the precinct now. We've got a big meeting starting in a bit. About Maggie's case, you mean? No, that's pretty much wrapped up now. Okay. There is another big case going down at the moment, so she's being pushed aside. Okay, well, see you later then. Bye. Okay, راح رد. Okay. Gumshoe. Phoenix. You better get going, detective, or you'll be late. Actually, I've kind of got a favor to ask. It's a big one. A favor? Yeah, it's from Maggie, actually. I was kind of hoping you would give this to her for me. جايب له صحن شي أكل. Okay, what is it? It's a lunchbox. I got up early so I could make it. I've been really worried about her. She looked like she would lost a lot of weight. Detective Gumshoe. How many weenies are in here? There is not a person on earth who could down this much meat. You think I love weenies? I can't get enough of their tender juiciness. So will you give it to her? It took me ages to make, so please say you will, pal. I can't exactly say no, can I? Gumshoe's lunchbox given to Maya to carry. Maybe I'll eat it myself if I get hungry. I'll be bad. Don't forget. Okay, I'm counting on you to give that to Maggie. It's fine, you're gone. Okay, time to go to the blue screen. Or let's go to Maggie. Yes. Let's give her the lunchbox. January 7, Detention Center Visitors Room. Oh, Mr. Wright. Hello, Maggie. So they finished questioning you? Wasn't it just unbelievable in court today, sir? I'm going to stay up all night and blog about everything that happened. Weren't you scared? It was pretty touch and go in there. Yeah, but you totally nailed that old man. Well, he was all over the place with his testimony. He's not the only one. Huh? What do you mean? Everyone else's testimonies don't match up either. Not with what I remember of the incident anyway. Is it possible she is the one misremembering things? Contradictions. Let's talk about. Maggie, you know how you said that everyone else provided testimony that doesn't match up with what you remember? Yep, there are just so many things that don't seem to add it up. And the biggest contradiction is the other guy I saw at the victim's table. He was the one who slipped something into the victim's coffee. I'm sure it was him. But didn't Mr. Kudo testify earlier today that it was the waitress who put some white powder into the coffee cup? So you really think it was this disappearing man that did it? Well, he's not the only thing that disappeared. The CD vanished as well. You know, the CD with the writing on it? Oh yeah, the MC Screwdriver album, right? It was MC Bomber, Maya. Listen, غلط. That name was scrolled on the sports paper as well. They never did find that CD at the crime scene there, so, or the victim's medication that's gone missing too. Ouch, my head. This is getting way too complicated for me. After that, you said that you passed out when the victim Glenn collapsed, right? Yes, it's so embarrassing. I mean, I used to be a cop. When I came to the restaurant, was buzzing with police. And before I knew what was going on, they arrested me, sir. So between the time the victim collapsed and the time the police arrived on the scene, you have no idea what went on at Trisbeen. No idea at all. Why is it important, Mr. Wright? The other witnesses, the old man from the park was pretty much chased out of the picture. Chased out of the picture? What do you mean? Old CD was inside the restaurant because he was told to go call the police. Exactly. And you, Maggie, were unconscious. That means Mr. Armstrong was alone in the restaurant for a brief period of time. No. You don't think Mr. Armstrong set me up, do you? When you consider the facts, it's hard to imagine that Mr. Armstrong isn't involved in this at all. Girl, it's like the master biting the paw of the dog that it feeds. Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright? Well, the old man said as much when he spoke when we spoke with him earlier. I don't know, the things that man said don't add up for some reason, sir. Maggie looks like she's trying to figure something out. Maybe we should ask Maggie exactly what she knows about old CB. Okay, what do you know about old CB? Let's see. I feel much better after the trial this morning. Been a bit of courtroom proceeding addict for years now. Feels like forever since I saw a witness as slippery as that old man. He's not really that bad of an old man though. Still, I feel a bit uneasy. Huh? I thought you just said you felt much better. Maggie, if there is something on your mind, you got to tell us. Especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Kudo or his testimony. Roger, I will spill it all and see what you make of it. أيوة طلع كلام جديد. Victor's testimony. Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you? Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. Yeah, we know that already. It was Victor Kudo. But I can't really say it was an old man. Okay then, how about calling him a really old middle-aged man? No, age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman. What? A woman? Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, what did this woman look like? She was sort of creepy. She had a kind of cackling laugh. Creepy. Cackling laugh. Okay. Why do I get the feeling I have come across a woman like that recently? Okay, we know the woman. He present her the gumshoe weenies. Oh yeah, I've got something you're going to love. Really? What is it? A lunchbox just for you. Here. Wow, a lunchbox. Weenies too? Can't believe it. Thank you, sir. Did you make this just for me, Mr. Wright? Nah, it was Detective Gumshoe. Who else would make such a nice lunchbox for you? Detective Gumshoe. متضاربين هذا الاثنين. He's really worried about you. He looks like he put a lot of effort into making this too. I can't accept it. Detention center rules. No gifts allowed, sir. Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't be like that. The rules are the rules. They will lock you up if you break them. Somehow, when an ex-cop turned waitress says that, it seems a whole lot scarier. And anyway, the hit weenies. Oh, really? All yours, Maya. You can enjoy it with Mr. Wright. But she's right. It's better than letting it go to waste. But I guess so. Gumshoe Gun was eaten with Maya. Well, how was it? That's hit the spot. I love weenies. Oh, good. I'm glad I gave it to you. Then, sir. خلنا نسوي present هذه كنت تعرف. I know I used to be on the police force, sir. I'm incarcerated now, so I can't use my connections to help you. All I can tell you about now is info about ex-cons or the clientele of Tribulations, sir. Oh, don't let it get you down, Maggie. Okay, ما عرفت. ممكن هذا. Holy smokes, that's him. Huh? Okay. That's your phony, Mr. Wright. Just look at that ridiculous suntan. For the record, I'm not sunburned like an over-dried tomato, so I don't know how. He told me he'd been on a business trip to Hawaii, and that's where he got the suntan. He got the tan. I'm not hearing this. Okay. Sir Armstrong was very good to me after I was fired from the force. Can't believe someone as nice as him could have anything to do with this. Well, in the time between the victim being poisoned and the police being called, the only person who was on the scene and had the chance to do anything was Mr. Armstrong. There was no one else there. Mr. Armstrong wouldn't set me up, would he? Okay. MC, I have this MC Bomber CD. Let's see. I know I used to be on the police force. Okay, she didn't say anything. So the badge. Okay, the badge, there is something. Oh, is that your attorney's badge? Actually, it's a fake. Holy smokes, that's it. Huh? That's the badge your phony had, Mr. Wright. You got duped by this. But it's a completely different color. And what about the fact that it's made of paper? He said the badge got a tan as well while he was in Hawaii on business. I'm beginning to see how my phony was able to gain my trust. Okay. Trust me. There's still nothing. Give me information, come on. Millionaire? No, nothing. Medicine? Nope. Oh, potassium cyanide. Never heard of that poison before in my life, sir. Okay, maybe I have, but I have never seen it before. That's the truth. I wouldn't even know where the nearest potassium cyanide dealer is in the first place. Potassium cyanide dealers sound like another group of drug pushers to avoid. In any case, definitely isn't something you can pick up just anywhere. Oh, curse my rotten luck. The criminal must have stuck the bottle in my apron while I was unconscious. Oh yeah, that's from when I was carrying customers' breakfast over to them. The ketchup splotch, you mean? My whole face was fire engine red thanks to that stuff. But you spilled the ketchup on your apron, didn't you? I don't see how. The ketchup-covered omelette went flying and hit the customer in the face. Oh, talk about tomato red face. Makes me wish I could have seen it myself. Yeah, I guess it was kind of sight to behold. That's the cup I took over to the table, sir. But I didn't put anything in it. I could never do something like that. That's right, you could never do anything like that. Not good at carrying those large trays, you know. Trying to balance a tray with one hand, put something in the coffee with the other. That would just be asking for trouble. I would drop something for sure. That's right. Is she expecting me to claim that she's too clumsy to have committed the crime? ما اعتقد في شيء بعد. The bike. I know I used to be okay. Let's say about the bike. Loan, nope, nothing but the loan. Oh, I feel no. Oh, feels like forever since I saw witness as sleepy at that argument. Really that bad one. Sounds like a bad. Okay. Oh, necessary. Lazy topic. Okay. I think we are done with the avatar. Let's go to the police station. January 7, police station, criminal affairs department. The main server just went up in smoke. Why the heck isn't the press conference set up yet? The superintendent here already. Yeah, and there is a problem with the internet too. I already told you to stop using your computer, Chief. But I'm watching videos online. I'm catching up on my Asian soap operas. It's gonna have to wait, Chief. I'm throwing the switch. No, just when some young guy was about to confess to his son's hot-to-trot girlfriend. Wow, this place is really buzzing. Something must be going down, something really big. Huh? What are you doing here, pal? Detective Gumshoe. You can't be here right now. You'll be roped into the briefing if you stay. Huh? You got big problems here today. Why? What's going on? It's a virus. A virus. There's a virus creeping through the precinct computer system. But I really need to ask you some questions. Okay. I'm only gonna say this once, so listen up. Yes, no matter how poor you get, never borrow money from a place like this. You hear? Um, okay. We got money trouble. Just go on a diet of instant noodles and hang in there. We're not thinking about borrowing money, detective. We want information. Oh, is that all? Well, let's see. Tender lender is considered to be even fishier than the average illegal loan shark. And it seems it ran into trouble just recently. Those guys have been pretty heavy handed, calling in all their debts. Really? Don't go poking your nose around in their business, pal. You'll really regret it if you upset that lady. Alright, I'll get the picture. Hey, wait a minute. What did he just say? That lady? Who's this lady he's talking about? We better find out what the story is with this lady. Computer virus. So what exactly is a computer virus, Detective Damshu? I don't know. What? Look, I just go with the flow. Right, pal? Sure. Okay, here I thought detectives were supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. What's with that face, pal? You think you know what a virus is? Well, do you? Computer virus, sure. I mean, only in a simple terms, of course. Well, really, wow. You know everything, Professor Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Dr. Wright from now on. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Don't you agree, Dr. Wright? Why do I get the feeling they're making fun of me? Okay, fine, I'm no expert, but I can at least explain the basics to the two of you. يلا بيشرحنا الفيروس. A virus is a program that gets inside the computer and causes damage. Damage, you mean it makes the machine go boom and explode? No, the damage is, well, it's all eternal. So the inside goes boom, right? I بعد جاهلة. الاثنين جاهلين. Okay. Imagine all the case data you got stored on your PC here in the station. A virus could wipe it out all that. That's the kind of damage I'm talking about. Whoa, that's scary. Yeah, and what's even more scary is that viruses are infectious. Infectious? Most computers are connected together on a network, right? A virus can move from one machine to another over the network. So the virus just keeps spreading faster and faster. Just like a real virus, huh? But Nick, why would anyone want to make a program like that? Yeah, it takes ages to type in all that data. Why would you want to destroy it, pal? No, people don't infect their own machines. They send the virus to someone else. Says. What? That's horrible. Oh, I get it. It's like you sneeze on Mr. Godot so he catches a cold. Good example. Right, then he wouldn't be able to turn up in court because he would be too sick. You really shouldn't do stuff like that, Nick. It's wrong. Well, who, what, where, when, and why did the conversation jump to talking about me? Anyway, what's the... That's what a computer virus is. A bad program that causes damage. And all the different viruses have names, right? I kind of feel like I have heard the name of the virus we caught somewhere before. هاي شي مؤثرات حلوة في اللعبة، الهزة والحركة. The name of the virus, huh? Feel like I've heard of it before too. Okay. خلنا نروي صورة البنت. يمكن هذه البنت البرو. That's the girl who works over at Tenderlander. You wanna stay away from her? Okay, I mean it. He doesn't see. She does look like kind of unforgiving, doesn't she? That should be the least of your worries, pal. What's that supposed to mean? What could be worse? هذه الغامضة هذه مصيبة. Her name's Violet Cadaverini. Okay, her full name is Violet Cadaverini. Okay. She's the only granddaughter of Bruto Cadaverini. Okay, Bruto Cadaverini. Do you know who that is, Nick? Never heard of him. Bruto Cadaverini, the boss of the Cadaverini family. The Cadaverinas. That's one scary sounding name. We can't touch them, they are way too powerful for the police. But you're thinking of taking them on, aren't you? No, I don't remember ever saying I was going to. I better get some more info out of Gumshoe about this family. أيوة. خلنا نطلع معلومات. خلنا نعطيها. Oh, this guy, the tiger. Is he famous? صوت الأسد نمر. Yeah, this guy is not a lone shark, you know. Nope, he's a big lone cat. Hence the name. Don't pay him back. And you would better say your prayers because he will eat you alive. You're shaking, detective, like a leaf. I'm just, kind of on edge at the moment, if you know what I mean. حسخ هذا لون هو عندهم. يا كل المعلومات. شو خبره شو كلام. خلنا نشوف هذا. What do you think about this jacket? Sorry, pal. Oh, I remember now. Oh, okay. مشكلة مرات ما يبين غلط ولا لا. Okay, this is it. This is stupid name. I remember now. I thought so. Here it comes. Don't just nod to yourself and keep me in the dark, Nick. What's going on? It's okay, Maya. Don't have to cry about it. The name scribbled on that sports paper and written on that CD. That's the name of the virus. MC Bomber. What? Yeah, the virus that's just infected every computer in the station, pal. It's MC Bomber. Can you give us any more details, please? You can show them what this. Trying to concentrate on not using this virus now. This is it. The stupid name. I remember. Thought so. Here it comes. Just okay. Bugger now. We read the rest. Yep. We read this. Yep. Okay, where is that magazine? I'm sure what this. Okay, if I show him this one or the CD, it's the same. Okay. Okay. Let's talk. Yes, we have the MC Bomber. We already knew about the MC Bomber virus from a while back. A group of criminals issued a series of demands to the head honchos of law enforcement. They threatened to release the virus if their demands weren't met. Who are they? I don't know. Some hotshots from the criminal underworld would be my guess. Now the virus has been released, huh? Yeah, it's in every computer in every public office in the city. Ev- Everyone's going nuts. They're hopping around like they're dancing at the carnival. All this stuff with criminals and viruses, it almost feels like we are in a sci-fi movie. Apparently, the programmer who made the virus was a real genius or something. The focus right now is on tracing the route of this virus on the black market. You mean someone put this virus up for sale? Yeah, and because this one's so powerful, they're estimating its price tag was in the millions of dollars, pal. The millions, a virus can be worth that much? See Bumble, later the top. Oh, there is the cadaverines. Let's check that. I'm not sure if I really want to get involved in this, but who are the cadaverines? Who are the scary bunch of people? That's who. You're a cop and you're scared. What's that about? Trust me, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a cop. These guys are scary. They've got some serious clout in their criminal underworld. You can't touch them. They've got too much mola. Mola? Mola, as in they pretty much control all the cash on the city's black market. The black market, huh? And that includes tender lender, I take it. Sure, no one stands up to Bruto Cadaverini, and I mean no one. Interesting. So Viola is the granddaughter of some mafia boss then. Yeah, and everyone knows how much Bruto loves his little girl. She means everything to him. So, how did she end up at Tinderlander? I don't know, pal. But I heard she and the boss of Tinderlander are pretty tight. Tight. That's what said in the file read related to Maggie's case. Sounds like a pretty important clue. Or I can't believe it. I almost forgot the most important thing. And that is, the lunchbox. How did everything go? Lunchbox. You remember the weenies? I hate weenies. Oh yeah, those weenies. So, how did my weenies taste when they went down the hatch? It was delicious. Yeah, that's what she said. Really? Not exactly. Don't worry about it, pal. I figured something would happen, so I came prepared. Prepared? What do you mean? I made a jumbo lunchbox. Oh. Do me a favor again, huh, pal? And deliver this. This sure is a heavy burden, in more ways than one. Can just imagine Maggie's little eyes sparkling with joy when you bring her that. Weenies again. Tell me we don't have to eat all these too. Gumshow's lunchbox. Given to Maya again. I really can't eat anymore. Okay, I think I have to go now, and I have enough evidence to talk to that lady, that daughter of the mafia. Let's see. Oh, she left. Okay. Chris Bean. Don't think he's here. Yeah. He's hiding. Oh, the blue screen. We didn't go there. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. We'll go to the blue screen. Oh, technology. January 7, blue screens Inc. Oh, wow, this place is so high tech. You can almost smell the electricity in the air. Okay. This computer firm, Maya, they can't work without electricity, Who are you? Oh, wow. Wow, that dress is awesome. Hello. I'm sorry, access is restricted. Let's just take it. Restricted to authorized personnel only. She's an android. I'm guessing she's an android. This is a computer programming laboratory. She's acting like an android. Okay. There are far too many trade secrets that could be leaked. Wow, what secrets? Everything you see here is classified. No information can leave this building. Understood. Who is this woman? She's like a robot from some kind of a whacked educational show. My name is Lisa Basel. Lisa Basel. I heard that name. I'm the company director. Okay, director. She's human. She seems more like a ghost in a shell. Interesting reference. And that thing over here, over her eye, isn't that the same device as Glenn Elb's? That's an DMH, right? Nice try, but it's the other way around, Maya. It's an HMD. All of my programmers here at Blue Screens Inc. are supplied with HMDs. Then do you write programs too? No, I just enjoy wearing this. They are pretty cool, I didn't mind one. Okay. So what exactly is this firm business? I'll try to simplify it so that you can understand. We analyze the data management system required by certain branches of industry, then deliver optimum operating systems and source level components to them. Oh, you lost me on the corner of analyze and management. It doesn't matter. The analyze stuff, you got that much later, right? Software we produce is distributed on CDs. CDs, yes, compact disc, digital optical storage media. Of course, CDs are used for software as well as music. It is a small firm, but all of my employees are first-class programmers. Let's ask one of them what they are doing. Excuse me, what are you working on right now? I'm researching the impact of time on logical access share, global verbal influence, response time and performance, verbal memory overheads, and okay. من نفسي أتحرك. Well, you get the idea. This is the sort of thing we are involved in. Look. Did you good people follow all of that? Nope. Yeah. Your blank smile just said otherwise, Maya. What happened? You know what happened, right, Mrs. Basil? You mean about Glenn being poisoned? Yes, I know, it's terrible. Can you tell us anything that might be helpful? I don't think so. A police officer was here earlier too. So I couldn't tell him anything either because the waitress who committed the crime has nothing to do with Blue Screens Inc. Oh. How about Mr. Elk's desk? Have you cleared it out already? No, not yet. It's this one, right in front of you. If there is anything that might be useful to you, you are welcome to take it. I guess there might be a clue here somewhere. Whoa, look at this desk, Nick. What a mess. Looks pretty average to me, but we can't get any work done with everything all over the place like this. You think real whiz kids can work under any conditions, you know? She's trying to hint that I should tidy my desk more. I'll clean up my desk when my stops asking silly questions. No, hurry then. Hey, This calendar. What about it? If this is another hint about tithing, you can forget it. Someone's marked December 3rd in red pen. December 3rd. That's the day Mr. Elg was murdered. Is there anything else? Yeah, says meet with the tiger. The tiger. Glenn's calendar editing. Okay, we got proof now. What's this? Wow, look at this mess. It's like they're all betting tickets. What kind of betting tickets? For betting on which horse will win a given race. They are horse racing tickets. Oh wow, his drawers are stuffed full of these. Looks like they're all losing tickets though. Horse racing. This many tickets would get you what, $1 down at the recycling center. Okay. But I didn't know you were so hard up that you would try to profit from the dead Nick. I'm just taking them as evidence, Maya. Clues here. Hey, look, Nick, it's a supercomputer. Looks like it's really smart and wise, doesn't it? Computers are only as smart as humans who use them, Maya. That explains why we don't use the computer in our office. That explains, yes. You work there too, Maya. Yeah, but please don't argue about something that's so trivial. Otherwise, the computer will laugh at you. She said she will laugh at us, Nick. She's a human, Maya, not a computer. He's really pounding that keyboard, isn't he? Wow, I bet that's where the pro in program comes from, huh? I guess I shouldn't be resting on my laurels. Gotta expand my skill set and all that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I could become old CD's apprentice. And what about your spirit medium training? Those pillars almost look like they're moving. It's kind of unsettling. Nah, they just look a bit twisted or warped or whatever word I'm looking for. This office was designed with a futuristic feel in mind. Futuristic. Yes, we tried to imagine what the things might look like in the future when we designed it. It helps to soothe and calm the soul. Okay. Second thought, I agree with you, Nick. This place is really unsettling. Don't think there is anything else here. Nope. Oh, yeah. What if I show her this? Would you mind taking a look at this? I'm sorry, that data is super admin restricted desktop access password protected. Super admin restricted desktop access password protected. What? This is madness. No, Maya, that is Sparta. That is Sparta. She won't tell us unless we say the right code word. Code word? Sesame. If it's not Sesame, then it must be her mother's maiden name. That's how it always is. There's no point in having a puzzle if it's always the same thing, Maya. I guess she just doesn't want to talk about this. Maybe we should focus on asking about Glen, Glen Elg. What do you say? Let's see about this guy. Would you mind taking a look at this? Sorry, that is the picture. How about her? Taking a look at she's not talking. What about this chef? Everything? Maybe only Glenn's medication, maybe she knows. Would you mind looking at this? Sorry that. About Mr. L, he was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. But he did suffer from one or two bugs in his personality. Oh, like what? He was a bit of a loser. Perhaps that would be the best way to describe it. That's what got him into trouble. What's the matter? He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. So he was really no trouble at all. A model employee. Hey, wait a minute. Just now you said something about him being in trouble. We've got to find out what this trouble was exactly. Let's give her the LC bomber, wait. Would you mind taking a look at this? I'm sorry, the data is... Maybe I'll bribe her with the food. Would you mind taking a look at this? Sorry, that... No, she's not accepting food. Millennials. Oh, let me check. Let me check. Go screen. What happened? Oh, okay. Should be something. Yeah, Glenn's troubles. About Mr. Elk. Was he in some kind of trouble? I'm sorry, why would you think that? I thought you said something about it just now. You said he got himself into trouble because he was a bit of loser. The 3 Cyclops. This is the world is like every other man with his own pile of secrets. can hide not here. Maybe I have the answers. Ah, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm just reading the guide bit. Uh, uh, around the present, losing. Okay, Glenn's troubles. So, how about you tell me what kind of troubles Mr. Elg was in? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you would like to speak to someone in customer service? What's she talking about? I guess I would better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Miss Basil, let me ask you something. Did Mr. Elg's trouble have something to do with this? What is that? A bunch of horse racing ticket, all losing ones. All losing ones. With that many tickets, you could get $1 at the recycling center. You good people are very, very bad. Cashing in on others' misfortunes is immoral. Is that a whiff of hypocrisy I smell? But what is the relevance of these tickets? The victim, Mr. Glenn, he had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone likes to go to the races from time to time. Yeah, but not everyone buys this many tickets. Anyway, I don't believe that proves anything on its own. You're right, but I am not through yet. Mr. Riggs' gambling wasn't restricted to horse races, was it? Millionaire radio flyer. Take this. Lottery. The lottery, horse racing, he bought a lot of tickets and lost a lot of times. That's got to have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? قام تعرق. أيوة شي pressure. Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps. No, you're right. Glenn did have gambling habits. You good people must not follow his example. Do you understand? Trust me, even if I wanted to, I don't exactly have the money to buy any. But if you win, there is no problem, is there? And Glenn had a winning ticket, didn't he? For $500,000. Yeah, but it's hard to imagine how he could have been in trouble then, isn't it? It's true that Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the end, but that was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that. Deep trouble? What do you mean? Mr. Elg's real problem was someone or something more terrifying and ferocious. Okay, someone more terrifying. Yes! Okay. Furio Tiger, the boss of a loan office called Tenderlender. Tenderlender. People with businesses should think harder before naming their offices. Like you are one to talk. Well, what do you think? Our firm is doing very well at the moment. I don't think we need to borrow money. No, I mean about Mr. L. You think Glenn had something to do with this Furio Tiger? Yes. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know of any connection between the two of them. Really? Because I've got proof that Mr. Elk and the tiger knew each other. Take this. Fury Tiger, aka the Tiger, is the boss of a launch office called Tenderlander. This is how Mr. Elg met on the day of his murder. And the only thing a loan shark would talk about with him about would be his debt. No, it's true that Glenn had racked up quite a bit of debt from his gambling habit. About $100,000, I think. $100,000, ouch. But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear. Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay. So the guy got lucky and won the lottery. But what if he hadn't won? What was his plan then? Well, this isn't easy to say, but he said he would use his talents to repay the money. His talents. I suspect he was talking about programming. What computer programming is worth $100,000. Perhaps if good people should leave so I can get back to my work. ما تبطرد Okay. I'm so close to cracking her. Program in question was it by any chance this? عندي كل دلة ما شيء. Well, this is it. This isn't it. This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber. No. Unlocked successful. Glenn's trouble. Glenn's head had more processing power than any computer, but it had been infected with a gambling virus. Glenn was in too deep. You mean he was in debt? Yes, $100,000 in debt, not an easy amount to repay. So he said he was taking on some extra work, something a bit risky. Risky? How? Maybe he was going to become a waitress at Trisbeen. Where do you come up with these ideas? Okay, let's see extra work. So it's safe to say Mr. Erg was the creator of this virus, huh? The MC Bomber virus, yes? It was a work of genius, in a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. Something like that would probably fetch several $million on the black market. Unconceivable. Gumshoe was right for a change. This date, December 3rd, that is marked on his calendar. That was his deadline for repaying his debts. Okay. MC Bumper updated in the court record. I guess we won't be needing these horse racing tickets anymore. Glenn Mills losing horse racing tickets thrown back on the floor. Use the trash can, Nick. فرع الأرض. فينيكس. اوكي. عندي شيء اقوله خلاص. اثبتنا الموضوع. في علاقة صلة بينهم. اوكي. الحين اوكي. خلينا نسألها هي يا جورج. اوكي. هذا وين تتكلمين ها؟ Okay. The bandage. You said that the bandage around your head was from an operation. You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct? Yes, the operation was very difficult. Apparently, now by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? Did the injury in question have something to do with this? This is one of the... Okay. I have here a car repair bill. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was in the accident. Let me see that. This bill is made out of the Cadavanias. Okay. I don't think I ever introduced myself. Tell me, what do the Cadavanias have to do with me? Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself. Alright then. The relationship with the Cadavanias is very strong. This is why. I know exactly who you are, Viola Cadaverini. You sustained that injury in a traffic accident, didn't you? Okay. Happened about 4 months ago. I was driving in one of our family's car when someone's pulled out in front of me. Oh, that. It was a motorbike or something like that. I don't remember it much. Anyway, I swear to try to avoid it, but I took a blow to the head. A bad one. Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened to the person on the bike? I'm guessing they didn't get away with injuring the Viola Cadaverani, right? I don't know what happened to them. So they ran away, or so I heard. Run away? If they would stayed, I would have... Is it possible? Could the person who committed the hit run have been... It was this man, wasn't it? He was the cause of your accident? It wasn't Don Tiger. I refuse to believe it. ممكن عنده مشكلة في مخها. عنده مشكلة في مخها صح. Who collided the motorbike and my car? But Don Tiger isn't injured at all, is he? It was the Tiger who caused Viola to crash. I can feel it. Plus one of her blocks just broke, so she must suspect it was him too. I'm sorry, Miss Cadaverini, but I have proof that the tiger was involved in a traffic accident on his bike. Proof. Maybe this one? Yes. Okay, it's not exactly a motorbike, but Mr. Tiger rides around on a scooter, doesn't he? And you will notice that the front wheel guard is badly damaged. Miss Cadaverini, you know the truth, don't you? This repair bill was paid by Furio Tiger. The Cadaverini have known for ages who caused the accident, haven't they? It's possible, perhaps. Somewhere inside me, I know that may be true. I knew it, but Don Tiger still saved my life. The operation was very complicated. It was very, very expensive. How much are we talking? Very, very expensive. She seemed kind of hesitant about giving me an actual figure. Should back off. Well, anyway, it was the tiger who paid for it, right? After I recovered, Don Tiger told me he said he paid for the operation because he cared about me. I believe him. Really? What do you honestly believe that to be true? Do you want to know what I think? I think the reason he paid for the operation wasn't because of you, but someone else. Your dad. Your dad, bro. Perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, but your grandfather, Bruto Cadaverini, controls a lot of dubious cash, right? And you are his beloved pride and joy. Sure, I don't know exactly how much the operation cost, but if you weren't the granddaughter of Mr. Cadaverini, do you think Mr. Tiger would have paid the money? I stole $1 million. Yes. Now let's hear about the headband. 4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. Simple procedure. Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, couldn't have been too big. They said the operation cost $1 million. Million bucks. My grandfather ordered Don Tiger to pay $1 million in compensation. Compensation? Huh? It's underworld lingo for paying money to settle a score. Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble. But $1 million. This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow. Compensation. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Don Tiger said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadaverini. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather. فقامت تصيحة قامت تصيحة شو خيبة. But I knew that wasn't really true. Wow, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money was evil. He said it was all for me, so I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Here, take these. What are these? Medical papers. And Bruto Cadaverini granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer he simply couldn't refuse. Viola's medical papers added to the court records. Wow, I feel so bad for Viola. It's inexcusable. Huh? I can't see it. There are two things that consider inexcusable. Poisoning and betrayal. Only a coward would hurt people using either of these tactics. Is everything alright, Nick? We should get going. Right after we finish our espresso. Espresso. Yeah. I won't need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Repair bill thrown into the trash. Okay. في الطاولة. That's one impressive disc on the one impressive and on one impressive rug. It's solid gold, Nick. Gold. Just look at that shine. Only real gold shines like that. Would you really want such a shiny disc, though? I don't know, but let's see what it's like to sit at solid gold disc. Wow, I'm completely dazzled. That's because it's completely dazzling. I can see up my nose in the reflection. That's gonna be really distracting. So the disc isn't practical. No surprise there. Okay. Check. قربت أخلص اليوم هذا من الأدلة. نرجع نجرب شو نعطيه شو ها نفس كذا اشياء خارجية ما يعرف. Do you know this guy? I don't think he will give me anything anymore. What about this guy? Would you mind taking money? No. بخشب. Let's go to Trisbeen. There is something. January 7th, Trisbeen. Hey, bonjour. I've been waiting for you to return. Mr. Armstrong. Good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you, fellas. So it. It's Shinny Hope. Who are you calling Shino Hope? Shut it. Come out from under the table already, Maya. Okay, hand it over. What? You wanna play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers now. I think he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical papers? Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. You wanna know what's sad? I'll tell you what's sad. And it ain't only her face. She thinks she's got power because she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. طلع حيوان هذا أكثر عن هذيك. I can't let you have these papers. tomorrow in court. I'm going to expose what you did to get to the 1 million you used to pay this off. Oh, زين رد عليه. Okay, are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There is two of us here. You got that too. Shit. هذا بعد. We Mr. Armstrong, forgive me. Disole, I cannot argue with him. Hey, بضربوني. Shit. They beat me up. Oh, that really hurt. Is that all you got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that lighter. Wait. Don't take it too hard. Phoenix, right? That was so stupid. I shouldn't have let my guard down. Those medical papers were vital evidence. Hold it, pal. Yes, detective. He came back. Detective Gumshoe. Detective? You gonna stop me, Cooper? Beat it. Gwah! Whoa, come on, Gumshoe. Keep it together. You guys get out of here. Leave this guy to me. But go, pal, and take this. If you get hurt, who's gonna look after Maggie? Huh? Do it. All right, thanks, Gumshoe. Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind. My. I'll get even with that guy tomorrow in court. Tenderlander is going down. We continued. هذا كله. And now the third court day. January 8th, the next day, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think this is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was determination. Why don't I believe you? Nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. يلا الحين يا اليوم اللي لا مدافع. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Why stressing Maggie out? She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Sure. Oh, you look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? No, not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Crispin kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they are aromatherapy oils. He's got so many. They're overflowing into the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There is one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And sniff, it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. Oh, that's nice. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Oh, medication. Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Eld was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Eld's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle refilled to the quart. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the content of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable, impregnable today. Got it? That's today's trial, okay. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. I'll put things right. January 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4. Let's go. Courtroom is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bale. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we will get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Crudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. يا أخي هذا الريال عجيب قد عجيب. Very cool character. With his coffee. You have lost me already, Mr. Ghost. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you really implying that you have resolved these contradictions? You know the answer to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well, let the first witness take the stand. That's fucking... Okay. Are you... And you are... Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Gene Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Trisby Restaurant Enchanté. Allah. The crowd is silent. Forgive me for asking this, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur, as you can see, I am fairy tale Turkey gentleman known ضيعني رام ضيعوا بعد. On the day of the incident, you were in Crispin kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, Monsieur. Oh, everything feels right. شو غازلة. شي مبين شو هذا الشيء. شوف هذا رايح فيها. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened the day at Trisbeen. We volunteers. Volunteers, okay. I'm trying to express the French from the text that they gave me. Trisbeen. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos, deco that day. Okay. Art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. We perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. The cup, the earpiece, the glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse known. Okay. Mirror. Oui, un grande mirror. La most enormous mirror. He wants to say that whatever that old man said yesterday, the testimony was all in reverse. Like, it was in proper order. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Okay. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Jazz Phoenix. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination at Trisbeen. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. Let's give him hold it. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Mace, of course, the young man who died. And the other not so young man. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. I remember I was experimenting with some new art because that day. We are pressing on every statement he's saying, so we see any clues. You were experimenting with Art Deco. How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with language of interior design, monsieur. Please stay on topic now. Why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of deco Decoct, decoction, I don't know. Okay. No, no, art deco. It is a style of design you're on. Okay. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Oh yes, of course. That deco. Okay. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of La Decor, like having a large mirror between the tables for the. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Oof, something about 4 meters wide and we about 2 meters high. Let's see, 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Nice, none that, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Press harder. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there is nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudu or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But
Objection!
you didn't ask that right. You didn't ask right. You have only yourself. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? Mirror was delivered to Tresbean the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tresby, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh, if you want to doubt someone, try it, look in the mirror. والله عطاه. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had been the victim reflected in a mirror. Okay. كان في مراية. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. الشيبة كان يشوف في المراية. كان كل شيء عكس بعض. هذا اللي بيقول. Normally, I would expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Okay, normally. How does normality come into this? That's lame, right? Even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Next point. Where does that leave the portrait-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here. Well, try it. Nothing is normal. This is what he's saying. He's saying, you guys are not normal. I'm not normal. So, being not normal doesn't mean. Okay, I do not have a top knot. Mr. Gadat is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Buying logic as one lade. Okay. Earpiece. La cab, la earpiece, la glasses. He would have seen everything in the West room. Everything he would have seen everything in the West. We should take a second to think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his eye in his specs. Green lenses. Okay. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. Was his left ear, without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he saw on the left was actually on the right. Ah, and that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but do you think old Celie saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There has gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. زين هنا الترايل اهو اصعب شيء لما تجي تجرب تحط ادله. أول شيء بستخدم الجايد. One, two, three, 4, 5. Let's give him the Glen profile. You have to press the right evidence on the right statement to get it. So the coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No questions. You can lock me up and I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror. It means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. هي لعبة شي وايد في كلام. والقضية بتخلص الحين. القضية عبارة عن الحين ما دام دخلنا الكورت بس القضية بتنتهي فيها اليوم. هذا exactment. You see, Monsieur, now that you think you about it, it's not so hard, no. Unfortunately, that's where you run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. لازم هذا الحين الشاهد لازم نطلع الأغلاط اللي يقولها. فواحدة منها بنطلع الحين بهاي البداية، بداية الكورت. If Mr. Coder really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then he would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. Yes.
Objection.
How bitter. Right, you should have taste of his bitterness to calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks. You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase. Sorry, I apologize. Letter. I mean, Mr. Cody's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. L? أبو بدلة في لعبة فايتنج جيم. يمكن في مدرسة. والله ما أدري، يمكن يشبه حدا. عجيب عجيب هذا أبو بدلة. أنا تطري فينيكس رايت. سوني 1. عطني الاسم خلنا نشوف. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. L? Clearly it's the victim eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. L's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those new fangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Well, try it. Oh, that's the worst but best impression of Kudos ever. Wow, I really thought he was old CD for a minute there. Good, that's good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a trash. It's just a rash. Trash. Rival school. Rival school, you mean? Rival school fighting game. Project to justice. Mirror can be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. By the way, the chat is appearing on the game, on the stream, I mean, or is it not appearing? I'm afraid it's not appearing. Chat free. Afa? Where is the chat? Chat. Afa? Okay, I guess I have to put the chat then. Dun. I think if you said something, yes. Now is it appearing? It's not appearing. Now it's appearing. أيوة. Yeah. That's ما قلت. Fighting game inside school. Rival school. That's the only game I know. That's a fighting game and the characters are from the school. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court we are all ears. I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. اوكي نشوف مخطط هذا المطعم. Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably? Okay. The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. Witness, there is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat, the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After all, after the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see no problem with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victim, Mr. Kodo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little cookit I am. Cookit? Confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Oh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross examination, if you please. The mirror. The mirror. It was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. So run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Oui. Oui, really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Objection!
Look who's talking, right? Huh. You are obstructing my view, among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. Tresbeen charm is that it gives you the impression that you are the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, right? I tell you, Monsieur, the mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seal from which you could be seen an image of the victim. And where would that be? Ooh la la, look how you lean towards me. Oh, I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too. You know, handsome, shall I tease you too? قام يغازل. I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bain, I will tell you, there was only one seat for which you could have seen. That was the seat, the table next to the victim was where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Nice, monsieur, it is obvious known. You look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. You are sitting at the table next to him, you presume. So that's the seat he was sitting in that day when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd? Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudu was off calling the police? Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then. You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself? What can I say? I know how to pick the things up, handsome. لازم تطلع الغلط. Godot actually laughed at something. Well, given the witness physique, I suppose it is possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? I look like the obliging type, none. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except the mirror. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene? Yeah, there is. I can't put my finger on what exactly. Ah, suffering from a case of heartburn, right? Oh, I have, oh, شو? I have just the thing for the oil with golden mira and Frankenstein's. صعب added a few drops to your coffee and voila, enjoy. Focus, Phoenix, breathe. You need to ignore those two and just find some evidence. It is pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't. But Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD. Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Tri's bin that day. Now I've just got to prove it somehow. لازم نبرهن انه ما في مرايا. هذا يتفلسف يقول في مرايا. خلنا نبرهن نشوف كيف. Present the okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's present the product. I'm using a guide so to be easier not to make mistakes, especially the things that doesn't hard to me to think. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, right? Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. Okay, what is the something that should not exist? I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table, because it's very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Victor's testimony. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Cole broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Cole was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, right? That's impossible. That seat's the only one could have been the victim reflection from. Could have seen the victim's... Okay. You got the point. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tri's bin that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Objection. Don't try to confuse the court. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the base while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? Sniffle. Let me see. Oh. Thank you for the follow, Siandel206, and thank you for the hosting as well. Hey man, what's up? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. I'm good, man. How's it going with you? Like this, yes. We're solving some court trial here. Why did the victim have an earpiece and an ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There is no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, try it. Then this problem is all yours. Oh, thank you, Sian. So, can I call you Sian? Sian? Yeah, Sian. Thanks for the help. Then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I will be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Alright, Sian then. I'll call you Sian. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? It is more than just this one contradiction, Maya. Okay, cool. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Right. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Should we, which one? Let me just save it. Dear doctor made a mistake. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The victim was a phony. This case is riddled with contradictions. Oh, you know. Oh, okay. I got the guide, by the way. I'm using a guide, so it's okay. It's okay, man. It's a bit hard to figure out vowels. Thanks. This case is riddled with contradictions. If you would like to participate with the answers, it's fine. You can tell me the answer. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is it? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. Was an imposter, a phony, pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Interesting. Phew! That was a bitter coffee. Order, order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Grubs. Why don't you clear out of here? Huh? What did you say? Right, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be a Glen Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection.
Fuck, this is next level. Okay, get real, try it. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about is his testimony was the serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant chair. I remember her well. It is so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection.
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it is also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right, well, witness. If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, right? About it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. Objection. Oh, okay, it's not quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there in fact a phony at the Trisbeen that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. You have a theory? Just no spoil it. Don't spoil it, please. The defense request for additional testimony is accepted. That could be, that could be. He's not French at all. Interesting theory. I like that. We'll keep that hold with you and that theory and until we reach the end of the trial today, and we'll see what happens. The defense request for additional testimony is accepted. Me, smart boy, nice, good boy. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Oui. Okay. Yes. In the restaurant. Okay. La victim, Monsieur Il came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. Thinks about Elmo. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon El became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. Nonetheless, there was no time for a phony to do the acting. Okay. Just so we are clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Jeevos demand pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. No, but what you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. We. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. but I'm guessing he will be in more serious trouble after this cross examination. The restaurant. Let's go pressing on this one. Was he alone at his table as well? Nice. I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Verdi, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection.
Unfortunately for you, right? Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee bitter sweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem right all of a sudden. I remember the old man arrived not long after them. We'll keep pressing on all the statements. See, by old man you mean Victor Kodo, right? Correct? He comes often to my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, Monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. Not that good. Not that good. So old Mr. Kodo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Don't ask how many times. Impressive. Many times. So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived. Oui, that is correct. But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Let me see, approximately 2 minutes I would say. To 2 minutes, that's all? It seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time. Rats, I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. There were no other customers. Okay. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim.
Objection.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Wright? You would never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind bird seed to make coffee. You catch my drift. But there is a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. Keep pressing. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember I'm shouting, yes, $500,000. Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct? Maggie. She looked like a poor little frightened dove. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seed that got stuck in his throat. Seems me we now have yet another incident on our hands. Wow. It was approximately 5 minutes later that a poisoning incident occurred. Keep pressing. And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry, what do you mean? There is a renowned chef Jean Armstrong and the tragic poet Cloris Armstrong. Cloris. Cloris. I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It is called Pourquoi, I think. I'm butchering the French. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court. Please don't. Please don't. There was no time for a pony to do the acting. You mean you contact the police as soon as the incident occurred? Um, what happened then? I have no idea. He said, please don't say it. In a poem, he was going to talk in a poem. You mean you contact the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from a la pay phone. By your own argument, Wright. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed. Brian, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted in the nest sea pass. What happens then? I don't follow, man. What do you mean what happens then? Well, we're trying to find the loophole of the statement and break that loophole. I guess our Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case. Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Wright, and I refused to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But we are right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act? Well, we'll know for sure once I find the hole in this testimony. Press on. Come on, you mean the 12, okay. Read that. What time was it? Out of curiosity about what time was it when Mr. Kodo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, Monsieur. I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. Oh? The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Kind of scary. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m. No. Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, Monsieur. You are wonderful. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Time of day will be added to the witness testimony. Oui, Monsieur Judge, everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha. I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's been humming a song into himself. I remember the old man arrived not long after, just after 2 p.m. Millionaire Lady Flyer. Finally. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. We? What do you mean? At the time in the question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning number of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That must be the show Mon Elg was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was the time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No, this victim we have been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murderer. Yes, there were two Glenn's Elgs in Trisbane that day. The real Glen Elg now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection.
Quite a performance, right? You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap according to your imaginative theory. It's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection.
Thank you, Tride. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Funny سؤال. The prosecution has valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with the proof by answering the prosecution's questions. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture. Right, let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? Well, what's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I'm guessing in the kitchen. Could be the kitchen. But he's turning it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the forensic theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? Outside Trisby? Inside Trisby. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Frisbee. Interesting. But where could the body have been hidden inside the restaurant? Perhaps you could care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Okay. The exact location where the body was concealed inside. Kitchen. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where is the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Evidence. The medicine. Where is the medicine? Don't know why I feel it's the medicine. Yes, it's the medicine. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. Only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trustbean. But I only ever use this bottle for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. L visited an otological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed and I have the lab results here. The content of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. L. Glenn L's murder hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? صوت واحد. Now he's in big trouble. Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. Excuse me my English of it. I'm reading all the time. It's tiring. No. Order. This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn? Never. I could not do such an horrible thing. No, what the? No, Mr. Godet, the bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you have had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H deficient friend? H deficient. Divos, demande, pardon, please, you must hear me out. Tis a trap, listen to me. Por favor, por favor. Yo, yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. Uh-oh. Maybe it's right now. You are right, Senator. Maybe he's not French. He might be a Spanish guy. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No, 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 absolutely no. I let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Goddard's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel. Oh, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. قربنا. We are close now. We are very close to destroy him. Okay. Mhm. Hmm. The confession. Let's go. It is true. I I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. I did not kill him. I swear it. I must believe. You must believe me. You were forced. By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was. There was another man. I knew it! Maggie was telling the truth. Of course you would. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There is just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Okay, the confession. It is true. I hid the body in my kitchen. You press on this. Did you carry the body by yourself? I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too. When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. But where did you hide the bodies? The man forced me to do it, but I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, 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 no. I cannot say I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put the word in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man? I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. What was reason? And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, Monsieur. Yes. Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. Maiden, you are a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I cannot finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Okay. Okay, okay. That's it. But I did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me. So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct? That's right. We are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong. You must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much. You might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then suck it up to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Have to show him the evidence. You could be right. You could be right. He was saying some Spanish words just now. Let me show him so that the body. Okay, the man forced me to do it. I think this is the one. Body. Okay, he's not telling me, then I will force it now. I'll show him the other guy. The phony. This guy. Yes. This is an easy one. I didn't use the guide, but I think it's correct. But I will be here. Oh yeah, I'm reading your text. Oh, reading the text that makes you read any text that you see. Let's end this dance of bring around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you have been referring to. Uh, who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom. This man is Furio Tiger. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There is no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tiger, at least not while he had this on you. What is that loan thing? Jane's loans contract. $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong, the tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the conscience, conscience, Maggie out of the dining area and to the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say, she said, that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tiger. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket, was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.